But our top story tonight and our top focus, West Bengal, where it appears that the BJP Trinamool Congress confrontation is worsening by the day. A day after the BJP chief, JP Nadda's convoy was attacked in Bengal, the political war has escalated. Governor Jagdeep Dhankhar slamming the Mamata government over alleged deterioration in law and order. The centre has now summoned the West Bengal Chief Secretary over the incident. This amidst reports that the centre could consider even President's rule in Bengal ahead of next year's election. It's our top story tonight.
The attack on the convoy of BJP President JP Nadda and party leader Kailash Vijayvargiya in Bengal has set the stage for yet another showdown between the Narendra Modi government and the Mamata government. The Home Ministry has summoned the State Director General of Police and Chief Secretary on Monday. The move comes within hours of Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankhar submitting his report on the incident to the Home Ministry. The Governor also held a press conference on Friday targeting the Mamata government.
The events that happened yesterday are most unfortunate. They are a slur on our democratic fabric.
Governor Dhankhar has demanded Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee withdraw her statement against Nadda.
Withdrawal of this video with apology will raise her stature, will do justice to rule of law, constitution, and our rich Bengali culture.
The Trinamool didn't take kindly to the governor's censure.
গভর্নরের কথাতে আমরা একদম উত্তর দিতে চাই না। উনি ডেইলি প্রেস করতে ভালোবাসেন, আপনাদের ডাকতে ভালোবাসেন। আপনারা না ডাকলেও এমনি আর গেলেও আপনাকে ডেকে কিছু না কিছু দেবে। আমরা তা ভালোবাসি না। আমি শুধু একটাই কথা বলতে পারি যে হি ইজ দ্য কন্ডিউট পাইপ অফ ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি।
Meanwhile, suspected BJP workers blackened the walls outside Trinamool MP and Mamata's nephew Abhishek Banerjee's residence in Delhi. The attack came even as Bengal BJP chief Dilip Ghosh called for revenge in a Facebook post. Ghosh said that they would pay back the Trinamool with interest. Taking a dig at Mamata's 2011 slogan, Badlav not Badla, which means change not revenge, Ghosh coined one himself, Badlav and Badla, change and revenge.
The Bengal governor has not just warned bureaucrats in the state against political adventurism, but has also cautioned the ruling Trinamool Congress against brute use of force to suppress the opposition voice. But his message comes on a day when the principal opposition party BJP and its leader Dilip Ghosh has once again talked about not just badal or change, but badla or revenge. It would be interesting to see as to whether political leaders in West Bengal pay heed to the message coming in from the constitutional head in the state. With camera person Prabir Viswas Indrajit for India Today.
And joining me now is the Governor of West Bengal as our newsmaker tonight. I'm joined by Jagdeep Dhankhar. Appreciate your joining us, sir. Let's get it very clear. Where do you now stand on this Mamata Banerjee versus the centre battle? Do you believe there is a constitutional breakdown in Bengal that necessitates potentially the implementation of President's rule in the state?
Well, I wouldn't react on that, but the situation reflected yesterday was very alarming. It poses serious threat to democratic fabric. You cannot believe it that early morning when I got inputs that moves were afoot to disrupt the planned visit of the BJP president to a predetermined function, I alerted the DGP of the state by talking to him at 8 o'clock. I got in touch with the Chief Secretary also. I shared the material with them. And I get a message from Chief Secretary at 8:19. 19 minutes after 8. He says, respected sir, I have alerted and sensitized DGP. Rajdeep, half an hour thereafter, when I get alarming reports that people were on rampage. The state apparatus was totally in support. They were engaged in activities not expected of them. I wrote a message to both Chief Secretary and DGP. I indicated to them, have you given them immunity? Are they law unto themselves? And I shared my anguish with them. I am put to shame by your acts of omission and commission. They were in silence zone after 9 a.m. The incident happened hours thereafter.
Now, are you saying therefore you're making a serious allegation? Are you saying that despite the, no, just a minute, sir, despite the warnings that you gave, the Chief Secretary and the DGP, these incidents happened? Are you suggesting therefore that they ignored your warnings or that they did not act in the manner that they should have? Is that what you are suggesting today, Mr. Governor?
You are right. You are right, Rajdeep. I not only informed them, I not only cautioned them, I gave them adequate inputs. And the Chief Secretary committed to me that he has alerted the DGP and used the word sensitize the DGP. Then after half an hour when I find situation is not looking up, I send a message at 9 a.m. and this is hours before, and I sent them material. So there is no reason for them not to know what was happening.
So you are saying you had an apprehension that violence could take place. The Mamata Banerjee government, on the other hand, is suggesting that this has been stage managed by the BJP. That this entire incident has been stage managed in a way to discredit her government. You are claiming you had apprehensions of violence. The West Bengal government says this has all been stage managed.
Let me tell you, Rajdeep, I invite your attention to the letter of the Chief Minister to the Union Home Secretary today, which is in circulation in social media. That letter is not in sync with the statement of Chief Minister. You will be surprised and appalled at it. But let me tell you, what happened yesterday, that was the day when entire world was celebrating human rights. And human rights in the state of West Bengal were in flames. Earlier, the chairman of Human Rights Commission told me the Human Rights Commission is on ventilator. I saw yesterday, in spite of my being cautioned, such kind of activities taking place, they would shame any democratic governance. And look at the reaction thereafter.
The Trinamool Congress government is saying you are the BJP's unelected hatchet man. You are the BJP's unelected hatchet man masquerading as a governor. Who are you to investigate the alleged attack? It is not the governor to investigate. The police is doing so. FIRs have been filed. People have been arrested. But when you are now coming out and targeting the Bengal government, you are acting as the BJP's hatchet man.
Rajdeep, whatever they say is not going to deter me from my constitutional duty. Who I am the one to protect, defend and preserve Indian Constitution. Mamata ji has to follow it. When she is not following it, I step in. I can't be taken to be having kid gloves or feet of clay, a post office or a rubber stamp. I can't fiddle in Raj Bhavan when democracy is in flames. Can you imagine a chief minister, a constitutional functionary, talking to someone, you are an outsider? Rajdeep, can you beat it? Will you be an outsider in the state of West Bengal?
Sir, but you have asked the Chief Minister, to delete her video where she has attacked JP Nadda. You have asked the Chief Minister to apologize. Is it the role of the governor to do this? You are supposed to be a neutral umpire. You are clearly taking the side. You are clearly taking sides, is the accusation against you.
Rajdeep, rightly so. Let me tell you, have you seen that video?
Yes, I have.
Can you digest it? A chief minister talking about president of the ruling party. Look at the manner, look at the language. And therefore, several people called me, Governor, our Bengali culture has been outraged. This is insult to our Bengali culture. A sense of Bengali culture has been decimated. And moved by the spirit of these people, I appeal to the Chief Minister, please reflect. Withdraw this video. It is an insult to Bengali culture. It is insult to the office you hold. It is insult to any political activity you have engaged in.
And you think by doing this, by saying this in public, you are following what your constitutional responsibilities are. You don't think you are overstepping your constitutional responsibilities by targeting the Chief Minister?
I don't target anyone. Let me tell you. I confine to constitutional parameters. I am not deterred by who says what. I believe in the script of the Constitution. I go by that dictum and look at. I cannot have a situation where someone says, look at the Diamond Harbour young MP, the expression he uses. I tell the young MP, those who rise by leaps and bounds, and mark my words carefully, have pitfalls ahead of them. Sir, can we save democracy?
Sir, but this is the language of a politician. You seem to be sounding more and more like a politician, like a player ahead of the Bengal elections, taking on the Bengal government. That is why the Bengal government is saying you're not a neutral umpire, you're batting for the Home Ministry and the centre, that you are not that you are playing the role of a politician now. You're a player.
No, let me tell you, you would have been a very good lawyer to cross-examine. But let me tell you, I mince no words in telling. I am not a stakeholder in politics. I am not concerned which political party plays what politics. It is their cup of tea, their lookout. But if a consultant appointed by one party makes intrusion in the corridors of power, infiltrates it without authority of law, the political executive is in support mode. The administrative machinery is in supine mode. Sir, the governor is called upon to do his duty. I have asked the government in writing, sanitize the power corridors. If I don't do it, I'll be failing in my duty.
Sir, but,
similarly,
but the fact is you have been doing this for the last 1 year, more than a year. You have been tweeting, you have been making these comments, you have been passing remarks, but nothing seems to change on the ground. The political violence continues. So I'm asking you now, with 4 months left to the elections in Bengal, do you believe that Bengal should go under President's rule ahead of those elections? I want a straight answer.
No. Before that, Rajdeep, let me tell you. If the governor has been talking of certain issues, your impression that that is not impactful is wrong. I had indicated to the bureaucracy, you are public servants, you cannot act as political servants. If you act as political workers, you are violating your conduct, you are risking law. Many have changed. Only a handful are left now, let me tell you. At the end of the day, people have a conscience of their own. Therefore, your impression that things are not changing is not that way. The politicized police is rethinking its role now. And my greatest hope is the first-time voters, the voters at large, they are the greatest stakeholders in democracy. I'm not concerned with who wins, who loses. I'm concerned only with the mechanism.
Are you appealing to first-time voters to vote out the Mamata government, Mr. Dhankhar? Are you telling the first-time voters of Bengal to vote out the Mamata government?
No, you are putting words in my mouth, Rajdeep. I am not telling any voter to vote in a particular manner. I only want voters to vote freely, fairly, fearlessly, and with no consequences for voting. And this I am doing because from all over the state, people have been telling me, and first-time voters, it's a great participation in democracy. First-time voters have a great role to play. Whom they vote is not my concern. Who gets elected, I am not concerned. I would be happy with anyone getting elected, only with one rider. The election must be in accordance with rule of law.
Okay.
Election must not be rigged.
Do
Police
you therefore
and police
believe, Mr.
officers
Governor, in
should not be
conclusion,
used by a
that
political
Bengal,
party.
do you
That
believe
is
that
what I'm
Bengal will
indicating,
have a
Rajdeep.
free and fair election? According to the Mamata Banerjee government, even yesterday in Mr. Nadda's convoy, there was central forces were available. Therefore, according to the Bengal government, they must not be blamed. I ask you, therefore, in conclusion, do you believe Bengal will have a free and fair election?
I will work for it. I assure the people of the state of West Bengal, we cannot imperil democracy and everything will be done. Things that had taken place earlier will not be allowed to happen. But number one, Rajdeep, do spare time for the state of West Bengal. Once you will come here, you will charge me that you never found a man understating a case. If I'm indicating to you the gravity and enormity of compromising of democracy in the state of West Bengal, mind you, I am revealing only tip of the iceberg.
I will ask you one final time, therefore, Mr. Governor, if today Mamata Banerjee turns around and says Jagdeep Dhankhar is acting, as I said, as the henchman of Amit Shah, JP Nadda, Narendra Modi and the BJP leadership, what will you tell her?
She would never say that. You trust me. Mamata Banerjee can never pick up this courage to say so, because then she will have to read my letters. She has not replied to many of them. And I put everything in black and white. What I am indicating to you, Rajdeep, I have put more sharply to Mamata Banerjee. In writing, I'll share the documents with you as and when you happen to be here, or I can share it with you wherever you are. You will be surprised that here is a governor who is acting with such sense of accountability and transparency, that is writing everything to the Chief Minister, and Chief Minister is not picking up courage to reply to those communications.
Okay.
And those communications non-response means a cover-up exercise of corruption, nepotism, favoritism, and totally politicized working of the police. Financial bunglings are taking place to a level which will put anyone to shame, even believes in democracy and accountability.
Let me leave
I'm
it
only
there.
understating the case.
Let me leave it there, Mr. Dhankhar, because you are saying you are acting as a responsible constitutional functionary. The Bengal government is saying you are a political player at the moment in the battle for Bengal. I appreciate, though, you're joining me and speaking to me so candidly. Thank you so much. So the big questions at the moment, is the Narendra Modi government planning to impose president's rule in Bengal? Is the governor acting as the centre's agent? Does the buck stop with the Mamata government when it comes to law and order? Just some of the questions we'll raise. Mahua Moitro, the Trinamool Congress firebrand MP, joins me. Gaurav Bhatia is the BJP spokesperson. But Mahua Moitro, you heard what Jagdeep Dhankhar said. He says, I am doing what the constitution mandates me to do. I am sending a firm message to the state. They have to maintain law and order. What will you tell the governor today?
There are two things. This is a red letter day for me, because normally when I come on your show, it's me and the BJP spokesperson. And today it was me and the governor. So I think Trinamool spokesperson on one side and the governor on West Bengal on the other side. I think that's quite a special day, and that speaks a lot about where the governor is kind of fitting himself into the frame of things. That's the first. The second is, I was listening to the governor speak, and I was thinking that he's a lawyer, and I have nothing against him personally. Personally, he's a very affable man, nothing on that. But in the role of a governor, he points out today, he says, did you see the video, Rajdeep? It is the CM talking about the president of the ruling party. Anyone with half an ounce of constitutionality in them would know that an elected chief minister in the scheme of things is far higher than the president of a ruling party. The fact that he holds the president of the ruling party in such awe and believes that an elected chief minister should tiptoe around the president of the ruling party just shows which side of the fence he's playing on. Now, there are 2 points that I want to bring up. Given that this entire situation is after the alleged attack on the convoy of Mr. Nadda, there are two things. So the MHA calls on the 14th of December the DGP and the Chief Secretary of West Bengal. Under the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution, there is the law and order is a state subject. Public order, riots, the Home Ministry can intervene. But law and order is a state subject. The Home Minister can speak to the Chief Minister about a situation in a state if the need arises. Under no law in the Indian Constitution, under no law, repeat, can the Home Secretary bypass the Chief Minister and summon the Chief Secretary and the DGP of a state. It is completely unconstitutional and against the federal structure. No Chief Secretary, no DGP of a state, without the Chief Minister's permission, can go to Delhi to meet with the Union Home Secretary. So given that there are so many high-powered lawyers on the BJP's books, it is strange that they've done something so amateurish. The second thing, they claim that we didn't give security to Mr. Nadda. Mr. Nadda, as far as I'm concerned, is an MP. He's a Rajya Sabha MP, like I'm a Lok Sabha MP. And he's the president of the ruling party. Good for him. He's got Z category security. The state government was supposed to provide a bulletproof car, which they did. And they were supposed to provide an escort, which they did. The rules of Z category security, the security protocol, is that the Z category convoy cannot have anyone apart from the escort and the person's car. So in this case, there were 45 to 50 cars in his convoy. The state government, if you do not follow security protocol, then do not blame security for not being able to protect you. If Mr. Modi tomorrow as Prime Minister travels as Z category protectee, SPG protectee, there are rules setting it out. If 45 cars come between Mr. Modi and his security convoy, there's nothing else.
That is a matter to be sorted out between the Bengal Police Home Secretary, Bengal Home Secretary and the Central Security Forces. But law and order is a state subject. The buck stops with your government. You can't turn around later now and say, look, the security protocol was not followed. You should have ensured that it was followed.
One second. How on earth, what is he is traveling with secure Central Armed Police. Every single, like I tweeted, every single two-bit leader of the BJP is given central security. They come to the districts with central CRPF, with BSF, with just about anything. We don't even know half the time who they're traveling with. As far as on paper, whatever they've asked for has been given to them. If they're traveling in a convoy of 45 to 50 vehicles, he's traveling, please understand, with a convicted felon. A convicted man with 59 cases against him who was convicted. If he's sitting in that convoy and gesturing to people who get agitated, there is a limit to what the state government can do. I'm very sorry. This is a law and order situation. Not at all.
Somewhere the state government can't escape responsibility. Either there is lack of coordination, then between the center and state, because look at what Mamata Banerjee has said. She has said this is stage managed. Are you telling me seriously that stones being thrown on the cars of this convoy were all stage managed?
Rajdeep, I have seen situations where, if you remember, on August 4th, 2017, Rahul Gandhi had gone to Banaskantha in Gujarat to survey flooded districts there. And his convoy was attacked with big stone things. He came, I think, remember Abhishek Manu Singhvi coming on your show, and the BJP spokesperson turning around and said this entire thing was stage managed. They got Congress in order to give attention to Rahul Gandhi through stones. So let us understand this entire stage management theory. The BJP are great ones at propagating this. Number one. The second thing is, in this case, what are you traveling with so much of media with all of this? I have absolutely no sort of compunctions in saying that the BJP is perfectly capable of stage managing. And in this case, until the investigation is done, I, for one, fail to understand how a Z category security protectee will travel with convicted people in a convoy of 50 cars, bypassing all security protocol. I'm very sorry. And second, on the most important thing, the Union Home Ministries, this is law and order. They can ask for a report. We'll give it to them. That's absolutely okay. The governor on your show cannot come in and say that this has to be followed. The governor is under absolutely no constitutional obligation to look out for the safety and security of the president of the ruling party. That is something that the state and the security which is accompanying that person will do. So I'm sorry, on both counts, they're dead wrong.
No, because you have gone ahead and tweeted saying BJP's unelected hatchet man masquerading as governor to investigate alleged attack on BJP president's convoy. Seems the BJP is not even pretending anymore that Uncle G is an unbiased constitutional functionary, but a lackey sent from Delhi to do their bidding. Is this the language to use about a governor?
Uh, Tell me, Rajdeep, you had him on your show. When was the last time you had a governor, a sitting governor, on a show, sitting there and taking questions like you did? When was the last time you had a governor who invites, calls the chief secretary and the DGP in and takes a video of them coming into his room and tweets it? So you know something, you get what you give, and this is the governor who doesn't behave like a governor, who has no sense of constitutional propriety. So I'm very sorry, he doesn't. I would say deserve or even call for the amount of respect and constitutional propriety simply because he doesn't let himself, he doesn't give his own office that respect. So if he's acting like a lackey of the BJP, I'm sorry, we're going to treat him like a lackey of the BJP.
Okay, I'm going to come back
Can you imagine Gopal Krishan Gandhi, or can you imagine K.R. Narayanan, M.K. Narayanan or Gopal Krishan Gandhi coming on your show and speaking in that manner? Can you think about it? Is it thinkable?
I'm going to come back to you in a moment, but I want to go to the BJP spokesperson also who's joining me now, Gaurav Bhatia, because Mr. Bhatia, you've heard from Mahua Moitra, and there is a sense that the BJP is itching for a confrontation so that you can possibly impose president's rule or keep the threat or the spectre of president's rule in Bengal going because there are elections in 4 months. Is it should a Home Secretary and the DGP and the Chief Secretary be called up directly by the Home Ministry, bypassing the Chief Minister?
So, Rajdeep, first I will make the points that I wish to make, which are far more important than getting into the nitty-gritties, but I'll definitely respond to Moitra a little bit later. Today, Mamata Banerjee has become a symbol of anarchy in India, and she has no respect for the constitution of the country, and I'll give you the reasons also. You remember CAA is a validly passed law, but what did Mamata Banerjee say? She said that I will not allow CAA to be implemented when a chief minister of a state does not even have that power. Then there were panchayat elections that were held in West Bengal, and 30% of the seats were won by their party unopposed. You know why? Because others were threatened to even participate in elections, and the Supreme Court came down heavily on the government, saying that there is no democracy in West Bengal. Now, I ask a counter question. My friend Mahua Moitra was saying that the protocol says so. Have you read the constitution? You are an MP. A citizen is also free to move anywhere in India under Article 19. Then why is it that Nadda ji, Yogi Adityanath ji, as well as other very distinguished citizens of the country are stopped from entering West Bengal? And look at the irony. They are in love with non-citizens like Rohingya, because Mamata Banerjee said that if you implement NRC, there will be a civil war and bloodbath in India. But citizens of India cannot actually enter West Bengal. My second point is, Mamata Banerjee is a habitual offender. Let us look at her language. The cavalcade of the national president was attacked. Law and order is a state subject. And Ms. Moitra doesn't even know that the protection provided by Z Plus Security is for the protectee. Law and order still is to be maintained by the state government and the police. And if there were vehicles following the vehicle of the national president, that is an admission on your channel that they failed in ensuring that the cavalcade and the vehicle in which Nadda ji was traveling was not free from any interference by other vehicular movement. My second point is, yes.
Go ahead.
Can I complete?
Finish
yes,
off.
Thank you. Yes. Now, stone pelting. Is this the first incident of stone pelting? No, it is not. Just a few weeks back, the state president, who happens to be an MP also, Dilip Ghosh, his car was also, attacked by TMC goons. Third, we have lost 130 workers of the BJP. Their only fault, Rajdeep, has been that they do not agree with the ideology of Mamata Banerjee. And in many such cases, the High Court, and in one petition which I filed before the Honorable Supreme Court, where a brutal murder, was indicated as a suicide by the government, they have been questioned and they have to file a reply. It is still a sub judice matter. So the larger question is, please follow the Constitution, read Article 19, read what a federal structure is, And in warrant of precedence, the Prime Minister is far above the Chief Minister.
Let me for a moment, I
Yes.
want very quickly,
Can
since you
I
spoke
complete
about,
my point?
since you spoke about a federal structure, does a federal structure mean that the governor of the state is also seen to be a political player rather than seen to be a neutral umpire? Very quickly. Are you telling me that the governor is acting neutrally?
I'm pretty sure and confident he is acting neutrally. If it doesn't suit Mamata Banerjee, then it is her problem. And she has a problem with the Parliament of India, with the Supreme Court of India, with the governor, with the Prime Minister, with every constitutional authority. And what if I on your program today say, Rajdeep, that Mamata Banerjee is actually enemy of the nation, masquerading as a Chief Minister? Would that be appropriate?
One minute.
iota of
Okay.
evidence?
Let me just play, and Mawa, I want you to respond to this. This is what Mamata Banerjee said, the controversial statement that the governor wants her to withdraw and apologize for. I want your response to that, Mawa. Listen in to what Mamata Banerjee said about JP Nadda that has created such a stir.
কোনদিন একটা চিফ মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কাজ নেই তো কিছু, লোকের কাজ করে না। কোনদিন হোম মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কোনদিন ওই আরেকটা মিনিস্টার চলে আসছে, কোনদিন চারটা নাড্ডা ফাড্ডা ভাড্ডা গড্ডা সব চলে আসছে একটা করে। আর তারা একা প্রোগ্রাম করবার কেউ করে না। আর যেদিন তারা প্রোগ্রাম করবে, লোক যদি না আসে, তাহলে নিজে সাজিয়ে রাখবে যাতে নটঙ্কি করে ন্যাশনাল নিউজে ভালো করে দেখায়, দেখো আমায় মেরেছে। আরে তোমার পেছনে 50টা গাড়ি কেন যায়?
Respond to that, Mawa Moitra. The governor believes that these statements in a way are defamatory or believe they denigrate the position. They're against Bengali culture, he said. How do you respond?
Is the governor a Bengali, or is Mr. Nadda a Bengali to come and lecture us about Bengali culture? How many times has the governor been in Bengal before he was put there in that sinecure by the central government? And what exactly about Bengal does Mr. Nadda know when the BJP's hired help, who tweets from their official cell, says that Rabindranath Tagore was born in Shantiniketan? So let's not even get into that. I think everything that Mamata Banerjee has said is gospel truth. And I, for one, salute her for saying it so succinctly and with such a great sense of humor. So you know what? If you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen, number one. The second thing is that everything she said, that when they don't get people, they try and create a notanki to try and get attention. That was the day that the TMC were coming out with the 10-year report card. They knew they had to do something desperate to get the media attention, and this is what they've done.
But what is not a notanki, Mawa Moitra, you cannot deny, is the escalating political violence. No other state in India is experiencing the kind of spiral in political violence ahead of Bengal that we are seeing at the moment.
I agree with you, Rajdeep, and we are all very worried about it, and this is something that has been caused solely by the BJP. You must understand there are only two last bastions left to fall. One is Tamil Nadu and one is Bengal. So for the BJP is going absolutely all out to capture them, absolutely all out. So every day their strategy is that they come in and they do some kind of small agitation, large agitation, medium agitation to try and inflame. Everything is Hindu-Muslim, everything is riots. Our police are on tenterhooks every day. Tomorrow, if a Muslim man runs away with a Hindu girl, two college students, it is capable of causing a riot in that area instigated by the BJP. All of us who are MPs, who are MLAs, are living in this state of fear that every day in our area, there will be some kind of mayhem, commotion, riots instigated by the BJP, tweeted by fake news by the BJP IT cell, just in order to create this impression of breakdown of law and order. So before the elections, they will impose president's rule, they will take over the police, they will take over the law and order machinery and do the election. This is the game plan that they're playing.
You can respond the charge which Mawa Moitra and the Trinamool is making, that the BJP wants a pretext to impose president's rule. You want these elections next year conducted under president's rule. You, in fact, according to the TMC, are itching for a communal riot there because you believe that polarization will help you. These are very serious charges being made.
Okay, a few quick points.
No, respond to the question. I have limited time, so respond to the question.
Yes, I will respond to what she said and then I'll respond if time is there. Otherwise, it's okay. Please wait for your turn. First of all, it is not your kitchen, ma'am. The kitchen is also ours and the house is also ours. West Bengal belongs to every Indian. Please get it clear. And this is not Bengali culture that you equate Indian citizens to be outsiders, but non-citizens should eat in our kitchen and they will not be thrown out of our country. The second point is, look at the derogatory language he uses. Does it befit a constitutional position holder? She says, I'll slap the Prime Minister when he comes to West Bengal. And what does the Prime Minister say? He says that it would be treated as blessings from Mamata Banerjee. And second, how would Mamata Banerjee feel if we say Mamta, Pamta, Kamta, Damta, all this? This shows the low level of integrity, intellectually and morally she has, that she doesn't want to discuss the issues that affect the common man. Rather, she believes in name calling. And now you ask me about the president rule. Let me respond. This is the BJP government that adheres to the Constitution of India. This is not a Congress government that decisions like president rule and the cabinet portfolios will be decided by news anchors, Rajdeep.
You only break governments. You don't need president's rule because you know how to break governments.
You know, Rajdeep,
yes.
Rajdeep, luckily in our country there is a Supreme Court.
Okay.
And it is not the BJP government that has been reprimanded. But read the case of Gupta Singh. I'm just telling you, Article 356 was misused and abused by the Congress government.
Sure it was.
Please, know your facts.
Sure it was.
Know your facts.
Okay, that is a fact that it was misused. Nobody doubts it, especially in the Indira Gandhi period in the 1980s. Nobody doubts that. 1 minute. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
All Congress government more than
So you are giving me an assurance. You are giving me an assurance that President's rule will not be imposed in Bengal.
Rajdeep, can you give me an assurance of something that happens outside your channel? I'm not the constitutional authority to give you an assurance. It would be done in consonance with the spirit of the Constitution.
Okay, final word there for Mawa Moitro. At some level, is this, whatever has happened, is this also a sign of desperation that the Trinamool feels encircled today? That the Trinamool feels that the bastion could be falling? There's a sense of desperation.
Listen, we are in power. Why would we feel a sense of desperation? The sense of desperation is felt by the people who want to come into power. We are not sitting here trying to stage manage. I'm working in my constituency. You don't see me hanging around going to Gujarat or going into Madhya Pradesh and trying and acting like some big hero over there. I'm in my constituency doing my work. If Mr. JP Nadda had, if he had, I would say frankly, a job, I think he should get elected to the Lok Sabha, get a constituency, and work hard every day and try.
He's a BJP president, man. He's the BJP president.
Fine, that's fine. Good for him. Good for him.
Okay.
But I think honestly, is it the job of the BJP president to go from state to state, just trying and instigating and creating riots and creating trouble in order to mess things up?
That's a very
insidious job.
No, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Mawa Moitro, Gaurav Bhatia, time up. Thank you both very much for joining me. Bengal, top of the focus and likely to be at the top of the focus for the next few months.